Good evening for India, good morning for US, good afternoon for Australia. Let us start this beautiful moment with Padma Shri Dr. SRV0003 Memorial Lecture Series. This series is held on all Saturdays. Timing is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. as per Indian Standard Time. It is held through Zoom. All are welcome, irrespective of their geographical locations. Thanks to Corona for having made this possible. The topic for discussion today is an introduction to aircraft structures. So this is meant for the benefit of younger generation who may be studying in technical schools, polytechnics, engineering colleges, to mention a few. Anybody can learn from any place. Learn free at any time. Learn free at any place. Because whatever the subjects are covered here are planned for the future to cover all subjects of mechanical engineering and aeronautical engineering branches, which are normally taught in undergraduate courses and polytechnics, will be covered. This program is called a lecture series, but it is not a monotonic one. Depending on the number of participants who are available or join the meeting, there will be discussion method which will be utilized to the extent possible for exchange of ideas among the participants for the purpose of encouraging everybody in terms of thinking, learning, problem solving, and understanding the topic of interest. The resulting multiple points of view is expected to help to build better knowledge, understanding, and interpretation of information. Now, before studying the aircraft structures, let us see what are the major parts of human structure. So, human structure is nothing but the skeleton. The important major parts can be written as skull, the ribs, the spine, the hand bone, the leg bone, etc. Although each one can be expanded to cover more and more information about the basic structure of the human beings, it can be classified into three parts. One is the head, another is the body, and another is hands and legs. This is an assembly of bones. Structure of a tree. If you see in winter season, there will be trees without any leaves at all because they are waiting for new leaves to come up. So here the parts of the structure of a tree are the roots, the trunk, the branches, the limbs, and twigs, to mention a few. This is a tree with leaves which is in still air or no wind type of situation. So it is more or less vertical and there is no bending because of the wind blowing in any direction as seen in the photograph. Now here are few trees which are showing bending because this photo is taken on a windy day with air or wind blowing from left side towards right side. So the trees are also bent. You can see in the photograph. Main parts of a tree. So here the important parts of a tree are listed. One is the roots. Another is trunk, limb, branch, twig, leaves, crown, fruit, bole, taproot, bark, cambium, pith, heartwood, sapwood, to mention a few. Now, roots are underground portion of the tree that serves as support. It also draws minerals and water from the surroundings, that is surrounding soils. Trunk is the thick main stem of a tree from which its branches grow. Limb is a large branch of a tree. Branch is one of the parts of a tree that grows out from the main trunk and has leaves, flowers, or even fruits on it. Twig is a small, thin branch of tree without any leaves. Leaves are usually green in color. They are flat in geometry, parts of a plant that are joined at one end to the stem or the branch. Crown is the top part of the tree containing branches that grow out from the main trunk and support the various leaves used for photosynthesis. Fruit produced by a tree. Bole is the stem or trunk of a tree. Taproot is the long and thick root that appears from the seed that goes deep down into the soil. Bark is the protective outer covering of the trunk, branches, and roots of the trees. Cambium is the thin layer which encloses the stem or trunk and lies between bark and sapwood that produces new cells. Pith is the oldest part of the tree which lies at the center, has large cells, thin walls, and greater tendency to crack than the rest of the body. Heartwood is the central core of the trunk that lies between pith and sapwood, used for making furniture and other applications. Sapwood is the newer layer of the tree which acts as a pipeline to move the water to the leaves and become heartwood with passage of time. Structure of a single engine aircraft is shown in figure. The structure of a military aircraft is shown in this figure, which is little more complex compared to the single engine small aircrafts used for training purposes. The structure is covered by a thin layer of material to give smooth outer surface to the aircraft. Nose landing gear. This is the landing gear which is at the nose of the aircraft. Wing rib. These are some of the parts of a typical aircraft. Spar, wing spar, turbojet engine, engine mounting pylon, wing slat, lower surface of the wing, winglet, upper surface of the wing, main landing gear, horizontal stabilizer, elevator, tail unit of the aircraft, rudder, fin, fuselage, ailerons, spoiler, trailing edge flap. Now, if we go through the basic description about the various parts shown in the figure, the nose landing gear is a steerable shock absorber shock protected strut assembly, the wheels of which are used for steering aircraft on the ground, which touch the runway as late as possible. Wing ribs are elements of the wing structure attached to the main spar, repeated at frequent intervals, giving skeletal shape for the aircraft wing. Wing spar is the main structural member that is placed spanwise from wing root towards wingtip to carry weight of wings on ground and flight loads during flight. Turbojet engine drives a compressor to supply air to a burner. The hot gases produced drive the turbine before rearward discharge, giving forward thrust. Engine mounting pylons allow to use different engine designs dissociating with the airframe from the engine to facilitate engine repairs. Wing slats on leading edge of wing alter the airflow when extended to allow airplane to take off and land at low speeds, while during high-speed flight, they are retracted to reduce the drag. Lower surface of wings have flap track fairings and mechanisms used to reduce wave drag in transonic speeds. Winglet is a vertical projection on the tip of an aircraft wing used for reducing the drag. Upper surface of wing is a curved aerofoil shape to produce less air pressure compared to the air flow below the wing to produce the required lift. Main landing gear plays a major role during ground movement, generally situated below the fuselage, supports the entire weight of the aircraft during taxiing and takeoff and landing. Horizontal stabilizer is a fixed wing section located at the rear end of the aircraft, contains an elevator used to prevent or initiate up and down or pitching motion of the aircraft to maintain stability of the aircraft. Elevators are flight control surfaces hinged to tailplane or horizontal stabilizer used to prevent or initiate aircraft attitude or pitch or vary angle of attack and hence vary the lift produced by the wings. Tail section of the aircraft provides stability to aircraft by controlling or initiating pitch and yaw response through movable control surfaces attached to the horizontal and vertical stabilizers. Rudder controls the yaw motion about normal axis and used to compensate for crosswinds. Ailerons and rudder are used together to turn the aircraft during flight, with the ailerons imparting roll and the rudder providing the yaw. Fin or vertical stabilizer minimizes side slip when aircraft begins to fly to the side and helps the aircraft in maintaining its course. Fuselage is the body of the aircraft that holds all parts of aircraft together and accommodates crew, passengers, and cargo. Shape of the fuselage depends on the intended requirement or design. Ailerons on the trailing edge of the wings are used to roll the aircraft along its longitudinal axis. Spoiler provides in-flight air braking for speed reduction and for augmenting ailerons while turning, in addition to provide air braking on ground during landing. Trailing edge flaps alter wing profile to generate more lift at low airspeeds and allow aircraft to take off and land at lower airspeeds. The main three axes of aircrafts which intersect at one point is called the center of gravity of the aircraft. The line passing through the CG from head to tail of the aircraft is known as the longitudinal axis. The vertical axis is also called the normal axis. It is also called the yaw axis. The line which is joining the wingtips is parallel and passing to the center of gravity of the aircraft is called the lateral axis or transverse axis or the pitch axis. Longitudinal axis is called roll axis. It is from nose towards tail. Normal axis is called vertical axis or y-axis. It is vertical through the center of gravity of the aircraft. Lateral axis is also called transverse axis or pitch axis. It is parallel to the line joining the wingtips to wingtip and passing through center of gravity of the aircraft. These three are something like the axis passing through the CG, which are mutually perpendicular to each other, particularly in case of straight and level flight. The different types of loads that we come across in the aircraft structures include what is called tensile loads. So this is the member is being pulled, the length increases, the cross section decreases. In case of compressive load, the length of the member decreases under the compression load and the cross section will increase. In case of shear load, the load acts parallel to the cross section of the element. In this picture, it is shown there is a rivet. So rivet is getting sheared by the application of the loads as shown in the figure. This is case of members which are subjected to torsion. That means one end is fixed end, another end it is we are trying to rotate it about the axis of the member. So this is called element subjected to torsional loads. So this is example of a bending load. This is a simply supported beam with two vertical supports and there is a load acting at the center of the span. The distance between the supports is called the span. After the application of load, it is possible that the beam which was horizontal becomes bent like this. This is the type of a truss. So it has several members welded or joined by pin jointed or using nuts, bolts, rivets, etc. This type of structure is called a truss. It is used for using, that is making the structure of lightweight but stronger in strength. This is this similar type of truss which is positioned in the upside down fashion and there are vertical members included in between the triangular region, so to get added strength. So this is slight variation from the first two. Instead of having triangular areas, here we can consider that the portion at the center have rectangle and there is a diagonal member coming up in one direction up to midspan and opposite direction in the other span, other half of the span. This is something like can be considered as the floor beams, which is like cabin of the aircraft that is made. So the beams are shown in the figure, and also the cross members are called the stringers. Here is an aircraft with one type of truss made up of pipes made of steel. Outside is covered with thin sheet of material to get the smooth surface. This is an aircraft, a single engine aircraft used for training purposes. The aircraft structures can be of what is known as monocoque type. So the simplest example of a monocoque type structure is the shell of an egg, which uses thin material enclosing everything. This is a colored type of egg, which gives slightly better idea of a monocoque structure compared to the white egg with the white background. So the cockpit of the aircraft can be made by this method using monocoque construction. An aircraft that was made using this monocoque construction of the structure is shown here. Actually, when larger aircrafts to carry more payload consisting of the crews, passengers, cargo, etc., they have to be more stronger. So monocoque construction is not used. Instead of that, this type of built-up sections are used. So wherever place is required, like a window, a back plate construction is made. The outer skin is reinforced with other substructures as shown in the figure. This is another one figure which shows the construction of the fuselage, which has thin outer shell. It is reinforced with stringers in the periphery. A typical aircraft is shown in this slide. The cockpit of an aircraft is shown here, which contains several controls, switches, flickering lights as indicators to give status of different systems working to the pilot. This is how an aircraft is looking. The windows are covered with several layers of toughened glass, vinyl interlayer using bolts and nuts, and there can be some heating element to remove ice deposition whenever there is chances of ice deposition is there. An aircraft just taking off is shown in the figure. You can see the wind socks which are showing that the air is actually blowing in the same direction in which it is taking off. Actually, it is wrong. This is a particular type of aircraft used for training purposes. In this case, the tail wheel is only one and the nose landing gear wheels are two. The wings are connected by struts and spars and also by wires. This is showing the repair of the window of a aircraft. This slide shows a biplane aircraft, a braced monoplane also, and a regular passenger aircraft using gas turbine as the engine, delivering the necessary power. So this aircraft shows the wings are supported by braces on either side, that is, each wing is connected to that. So this struts will take some amount of load, giving added strength to the wings. The wings are mounted using spars. So this is showing how a spar is connected to the fuselage, which carries the wing. The various types of spars are shown here depending on the requirements of the designers. The wing parts are shown here. There is outer skin. Inside, there are ribs, spars, stringers, etc. Outer skin is made made such that it provides a smooth surface to the outer surface of the wing. Ribs will provide added strength. The ribs are made with required pattern of hole from sheet metal of desired thickness. Holes are required for carrying electrical wiring, lubricating lines, fuel lines, and other things. The portion of the wing which is looking like rectangle shape here at the middle is also called the torsion box. That is, it is supposed to take twisting type of load. Let us stop here. Maybe some plates are somehow missing. We will repeat it again on another day. Thank you, viewers. So this is generally what we use. One is Yella Balavarilla, Balavar Balilla, Balavilla Balavarido, Sahitya Ellarigalla Sarvagna. That means people who know everything are not there. If there are some people who know everything, but their number is very few, and even if we have people who know everything, it will be of no use because they will not be able to help others to make others also experts in the subject. Sahitya Ellarigalla means you can take it something like reading, writing, learning, etc. Everybody will not be able to do that. There is something called Sarvagna Vachanas. Sarvagna means a person who knows everything. So this one says, Kelavam Ballavarinda Kalto, Kelavam Malpavarinda Kando, Matte Kelavam Tane Swataha Madi Tiliyanda Sarvagna. That means learn something from those who know the subject. Learn something from those who are doing some work. Learn something by doing on your own and experiencing, using, do it yourself technology. This is what is given in the form of a vachana by Sarvagna. There is another one known as Someshwara Sataka. Someshwara has taken the 3 lines given in the Sarvagna Vachana plus added 2 more things which are shown in the green color in the screen. That is Kelavam Ballavarinda Kalto, Kelavam Malpavarinda Kando, Kelavam Sugnanadim Nodatam. These are taken from approximately the Sarvagna Vachana we just saw in the previous slide. The additional things added was Kelavam Shastrangalam Keltam. That means learn something by listening to something like lectures on science, technology, and so on. Then another second one added is Kelavam Sajjana Sangadindala Real. That means learn something by association with great thinkers, learners, scientists, engineers, professors, innovators, etc., etc. If we do these 5 items, then it says Sarvajnanappam Naram. That means one can become father of Sarvajna. It means that you can become much more better than Sarvajna. Balavam Palla Samudravai Harara Sri Channa Someshwara. That means several small streams join and finally it becomes reaches an ocean. That is what is Sarvajna Vachana, this Someshwara Sataka. So here I have seen by searching in Google that several people got PhD by trying to find out whether Sarvagna was the first person or the Someshwara was the first. In both the cases, they have been awarded several PhDs. But what I feel is because of the sentence they have used called Sarvagna Napam Naram, that means Someshwara was aware of Sarvagna Vachana, and by adding the two more items, he says you can become better than Sarvagna. That means you will become more knowledgeable person. Here is a young professor. Let us view a short movie about him.
Seven-year-old Suborno Isaac Bari became the youngest professor in the history of mankind.
Hi, when I was a kid, I used to play on the ground, but this kid became a professor only at the age of 7, and until now, he is the youngest professor in the world. Who is he and how he became a professor in a very young age?
Hi, my name is Suborno Isaac Berry. I'm 7 years old.
Suborno Bari is a Bengali American prodigy. He is known as Suborno Isaac Bari because after Sir Isaac Newton, he is the youngest professor globally and people know him as the Einstein of our time. He grew up in New York City, United States of America. He is so genius that he started talking when he was only 6 months. And he could solve math, physics, chemistry problems when he was only 2. Then his parents started sharing his videos on the internet. Later on, he got an invitation from Voice of America to have an interview. And he is the youngest person ever to be in conversation with Voice of America.
And today we're going to be looking at reflection and refraction.
In 2018, Harvard University acknowledges him as a scientist, and in 2020, he is recognized as a professor of Harvard University. He becomes a visiting professor at Mumbai University too. Receives the Child Prodigy Award from the Nobel winner Kailash Satyarthi for his incredible efficiencies in the field of math, physics, and for the anti-terrorist campaign. He also authored a book named The Love.
The main idea of my book is focused on the topic of a Muslim child's struggle to create a world without terrorism.
Barack Obama, the then President of United States of America, didn't make mistake to recognize him too. He sent a letter congratulating him in 2016. And so many renowned university professors and chancellors wrote to him so far.
Why do you think you're so smart?
Well, I think I'm so smart because I can solve PhD level math, physics, and chemistry problems at an age I believe no other can.
You know what? Nothing can stop the persons born extraordinarily. They can go beyond everything. Just need a good nourishing and wishing him good luck.
Seven-year-old
Now let us start with a quiz. What you have to do is you prepare a table which has 4 columns. The column heading says first column heading is serial number, second, third, and fourth column headings are A, B, and C. In serial number, write the numbers 1 to 20. Now there will be 20 questions where you have Each question has 3 choices for you to select. Whatever that comes to your mind first, you please select that as your answer and make a tick mark under the respective cell. That is, if the question number is, your answer is A for question number 1, then you make a tick mark at the row number 1 and column number A. Similarly, if it is B or C for the question 1. So every question number in front among ABC, you will be selecting one which is either A or B or C and complete this with all the answers for the 20 different quiz questions that are given here. The question number 1 is, what kind of book would you like to read just for fun? For example, there are 3 choices given here. A book with lots of pictures in it, a book with lots of words in it so that you can read. Whereas lot of pictures means more of illustrations are there to see. A third book, book number C, is the book with word search or crossword puzzles. That means here it will be something involved with the problem solving type of thing. Finding the number of words in a particular passage or search the particular word in the given passage or make up crossword puzzles, writing different letters horizontally, vertically, etc. to complete the crossword puzzle. So your choice is either A, B or C. So depending on what comes to your mind for the first time, you please make a tick mark against question number 1 under column A, B or C, which is you think correct by yourself. Question number 2 is, when you are not sure how to spell a word, what are you most likely to do? Choice number 1 is, write it down to see if it looks right. That means even when I was struggling for a proper spelling for a particular word, if I try to write it by hand, the hand will write it correctly because it had already been trained. It is something like a slave computer. Spell it out loud to see if it sounds right. That means sometimes if you try to spell the word loudly, you may be able to get the correct answer. Third choice is, trace the letters in the air. This is called finger spelling. That means it is equivalent to writing using a pen or pencil and paper, but here we are not using pen or pencil and paper. We are trying to write in air so that use a finger for write the letters. So maybe by doing one of these, you will be able to get the correct word that you wanted to use for a spelling for a given word. So write your question in question number 2, that is second row, in the column which you think most appropriate for you. Question number 3 is, you are out shopping for clothes and you are waiting in the line to pay. What are you most likely to do while you are waiting? So here 3 choices are given. One is, look around at other clothes on the racks. Talk to the person next to you in line. Fit, get, or move back and forth. So what are probably you will be doing, you can select the answer that is applicable to you. Write against question number 3, that is third row, your choice, which is A, B, or C, you make a tick mark against any one of these columns, A, B, or C, that you think most appropriate for you. And whatever comes to your mind first, that you write it. There is no need for thinking more and more. When you see the word cat, what do you do first? So maybe you are reading a passage, a word cat comes, or somebody is telling there is a cat, or you are writing the word cat. So at that time, what do you think about cat? One is picture of a cat in your own mind. Second one is say the word cat to yourself. That means it may be in the mind or it can be louder also. Think about being with a cat, maybe petting it or hearing it purr. So, what is your choice, A, B, or C? In the sheet at fourth row for question number 4, you tick either A or B or C column, whichever you feel correct that comes to your mind at the first time. What is the best way for you to study for a test or examination? Read the book or your notes and review pictures or charts. Have someone ask you questions that you can answer out loud. Make up index cards that you can review. These are the 3 choices given. Choice number A is read the book or your notes and review pictures or charts. That means before going to test or examination or interview, you are going to read the book, maybe textbooks, and your notes that you have taken in the school or college, and review pictures and charts, whatever that were there in the either textbook or in the notes. Second choice is have someone to ask you questions that you can answer loudly. For example, you give the list of questions to someone and ask him to ask the questions to you so that you can answer the questions loudly. Third variety is make up index cards that you can review. That means index cards means you can prepare the questions on one side of a card, a thick paper card, and the reverse side, the answers is written. So what you have to do is go through the front face, look at the question, try to answer. When you can't answer, just turn the card to find the right answer there. So which of this method you probably try to do before going for a test or examination or an interview. So write a tick mark against row number 5, either in the column A, B, or C, as whichever is applicable to you for the first time thinking. What is the best way for you to learn about how something works, like a computer or a video game, for example? Get someone to show you. That is, because it is something new, it is better that we ask someone who knows about it and he can give us a demo. Second choice is read about it or listen to someone explaining it. That means maybe there will be user manual. You go through that user manual, try to understand. But however, the manuals cannot speak. So therefore, it may not be a good idea to understand. Then it is necessary to listen to someone who will keep on explaining how to do it. Third one is figure it out on your own. That means make experiment, try several approaches so that maybe you will be able to reach a method which gives you correct information about how something works. So make a tick mark in the row number 6 in the column A, B, or C, whichever you feel is appropriate from your own point of view. If you went to a dance, what would you be most likely to remember the next day? One is the faces of the people who were there, maybe either the actors or the people who have come as audience. The music that was played during the dance. Third is the dance moves you did and the food you ate. Maybe you try to imitate the dancers, or you have taken some food in the canteen, or like that. So make a tick mark in the row number 7 under either column A or column B or column C, so that whatever that comes to your mind as correct for the first time, that is you are going to indicate. Question number 8. What do you find most distracting when you are trying to study? People walking past you, loud noises, an uncomfortable chair. Your choice will be only one of A, B, or C. Now, you are trying to study some subject, maybe for test or for examination or for interview. While doing so, what are the type of things you consider them as distracting your mind away from the studies? So the choices given are, the first choice is people walking past you. That means maybe if you are trying to read at a place where people are walking forward, backward, etc., all around, then it may be distraction for you. Second one is loud noises. It may be the noise coming from musical instruments. It may be the noise because of the vehicles coming and going, or it may be noise of announcements made in the road using public address system and so on. Another choice is an uncomfortable chair. That means the chair you are sitting is not really comfortable from your point of view, and therefore you consider it as a distraction, so that your studies are affected, or you are not able to make the study on your own. When you are angry, what are you most likely to do? Here, 3 choices are given. One is put on your mad face, yell and scream, slam the doors. So these choices are given. You can select which one reflects your mind. That is, whatever that comes to your mind for the first time when answering this question. So that one, please write it as your answer. That means in row number 9 in the table that you prepared, make a tick mark under either column A or column B or column C, whichever you feel that is correct from your point of view. When you are happy, what are you most likely to do? So here there are three choices given. One is smile from ear to ear. Our second choice is talk up a storm. Third choice is act really hyper. So whatever comes to your mind first, please select that as the answer and write. That is, in the row number 10, you make a tick mark either in column A or in column B or in column C as your answer, whichever you think correct for the first time. When in a new place, how do you find your own way around? Look for a map or directory that allows you way around. Ask someone for directions. Just start walking around until you find what you are looking for. Now here, some places it is possible to find map or directory that gives where you are now and where you want to go. Whether you consult that one if it is available, or simply ask someone for directions to go to a particular place. Or the third choice is simply don't bother, keep on walking until you find what you are looking for. These are three of the different possibilities. So whichever you feel appropriate for you as it comes to your mind while answering this question, please write that using a tick mark for row number 11 and either column A or column B or column C. Of these three classes, which is your favorite? Art class, music class, gym class. So given choice, which of the three you will select? Art class may include like music, dance, or story writing, picturing, painting, etc. Music class may be for singing or instruments playing and so on. Third one is gym class, where you'll be doing different exercises for seeing that you are kept fit. Your choice is either A or B or C. So please make a tick mark against the row number 12 under the column either A or B or C to indicate the answer that comes to your mind the first moment you saw the question. When you hear a song on the radio, what are you most likely to do? So three choices are there. One is picture the video that goes along with it. Sing or hum along with the music. Start dancing or tapping your foot, etc. So what you are likely to do from your point of view as applicable to you, please write that by making a tick mark in row number 13 and column number either A or B or C. What do you find most distracting when in class? Lights that are too bright or too dim, noises from the hallway or outside the building like traffic or someone cutting grass and so on. The temperature is either hot or too cold. So which will distract you in the class so that you are not able to be attentive to what is being taught in the class. Select your choice and mark it against in the row number 14 against either column A or column B or column C. Next question is, what do you like to do to relax? So one is choice is read. It may be reading storybooks or reading science or technology books or magazines and so on. Second choice is listen to music. Could be vocal or instrumental. Third is exercising. Means it need not be doing exercise directly. It could be walking around, running, playing different sports, and so on. So, which one is the choice that you think is appropriate or applicable to you? You make a tick mark against row number 15 under either column A or column B or column C so that your answer is recorded there. What is the best way for you to remember a friend's phone number? Picture the numbers on the phone as you would dial them. That is one method. That means when you are dialing the numbers on the phone dial, you identify how exactly the different locations you press the buttons or dial the number. Say it loud over and over and over. That means keep on repeating several times, like 22171, 22171, 22171, like that, so that you will remember the number which you want to call. Write it down or store it in the phone contact list. Alternatively, you can write it either on a piece of paper or in a diary or in a telephone directory specially created for that purpose, or it can be stored in the computer or mobile also in the contact list. But if it is within the computer memory, if something happens and the either the mobile or the computer do not work, then what happens? Will not be able to use them later. So whatever that comes to your mind first, you make it, mark a tick mark in the row number 16 under the column either A or B or C, whichever is applicable to you. If you won a game, which of the three prizes would you choose? Suppose you went for a lucky game. After playing the game, you have given three choices. One is a poster for displaying on the wall. Second is a music CD or an MP3 which you can download free. Third one is a game of some kind or such as a football or a soccer ball, etc. So which do you prefer when you are given three choices to select the one prize that the organizers of the games are giving? So write your answer as a tick mark in the row number 17 against columns A, B, or C. Which would you rather go to with a group of friends? That means maybe you have been you are able to come across several friends at some point of time. Then which type of a place you wish to go together? Choice given are: one is a movie, two is a concert, and three is an amusement park. So in case of movie, you are going to listen as well as concentrate on the screen to view what is happening at that moment. In case of concert, there will be the music. You will be listening only. Maybe you will be looking at the people who are singing or may not. Third case, amusement park. It is necessary for you to take active part and do something on your own as per the instructions of operating several things there. So depending on which answer is applicable to you, A, B, or C, please make a tick mark in the row number 18 against either column A or column B or column C. What are you most likely to remember about new people you meet? Suppose you come across some new people for the first time. At that time, what are you planning to remember after the meeting is over? One is their face you are able to recognize later if they come again, or not their name. The second choice is you will remember who is a particular person by name, but you don't remember what is the face. It is difficult to identify the person whom you met just by knowing the name. Third choice is what you talked about him. That means what are the different topics that you spoke with the stranger whom you met. So depending on the one of the choices, A, B, or C, whichever is applicable to you in this case, you please write a tick mark in the row number 19 under column A or column B or column C. When you give someone directions to your house, what are you most likely to tell them? A description of building and landmark they will pass on the way. The names of the roads or streets they will pass on the way. Follow me, it will be easier if I just show you how to get there. That means someone is asking you for directions, how that he can come to your house and meet you later. Then probably one choice is you give the complete description of what are the different buildings and landmarks that you have to pass through while reaching your house. Second is give the names of the roads or the streets they will pass on the way. Or the best thing could be that you will say, I will show you, come along with me, and you take the stranger to that place. So whichever is applicable, you make a tick mark in the row number 20 against either column A or column B or column C. Now, this table will have tick marks in column A, column B, and column C, depending on the choice you have made. What you have to do is now add up how many A you have got and how many B you have got and how many C you have got. Now let us start with introduction of participants. Please introduce yourself, giving your name, place where you are living, and your hobbies. Let us start with introduction of participants. Example, my name is Rameshaya. I live in Vijayanagar, Bangalore. My hobbies are learning and teaching, free for interested as well as intended invisible learners. So this can be done by every participant so that others will get to know the name of the person, the place where you are residing, and what are your hobbies. Frequently asked questions. Recognition of the prior learning to bring in interactive discussion. What is the actual meaning of free offline education for everybody? True to its name, free offline education for everybody does not require either constant internet connectivity and also does not require even a SIM card in smartphone or tablet or computer. Any ordinary TV which has a USB input port can be used without the need for any set-top box or cable connection. The students and learners as end users get free education. What are the benefits of free offline education system? Students or learners will be able to study the subjects of their interest anytime, at any place, and at any pace, repeatedly several times, as needed in individual cases, so that they will become eminent scientists, professors, engineers, innovators in the shortest possible time and in the simplest possible way, without the need for constant internet connectivity or without the need for a SIM card for smartphone or tablet or laptop, and use ordinary TV with an USB port for viewing the lessons. How does the free offline educational system work without the need for constant internet connectivity or without a SIM card in a smartphone, tablet, computer, or an ordinary TV without set-top box and or cable connection? The lessons are made available for free download, and whenever and wherever free Wi-Fi is available, everybody can download the lessons. Once downloaded, neither constant internet connectivity nor a SIM card is required to study the lessons at any time, at any place, and at any pace. How to use a TV for studying subjects from the free offline educational system without the set-top box or cable connection. The video lessons can be downloaded whenever and wherever free Wi-Fi is available, and once downloaded onto an USB pen drive, the pen drive is plugged into the USB input port available in all televisions, and the students or learners can study the downloaded lessons as many times as needed in individual cases to become experts in the subject of interest. How the students located in the remote areas will be able to use the free offline educational system where there is no internet connectivity at all. The government as well as the non-governmental organizations can download the lessons on an USB pen drive and distribute the same to all eligible students through banks, post offices, village panchayats, LPG delivery boys, electricity and water meter readers, fair price shops, free of cost, to mention a few. Also, those who buy new smartphones can donate the old phones to research for students in the society. Is there any restrictions on the number of students to learn lessons simultaneously using the free offline educational system? Based on the availability of more than one student, a group of students can study the lessons simultaneously. Once the lessons are understood, the students who learn the subjects can teach all others who are interested in the society and share the knowledge and experience gained with all others available in the society. It is necessary for students to purchase the prescribed textbooks for study via free offline educational system. Is it necessary at all? Students need not buy or purchase any prescribed textbooks for study because of the simple reason that the video lessons and free ebooks will be prepared based on the prescribed syllabus or textbooks and made available in an improved forum free of charge for the benefit of everybody, whoever is willing to enhance their knowledge, experience, and skill in the world. What are the study materials required by students to study the lessons through free offline educational system to learn the subject of their interest? Students are required to keep a notebook, a few 1 millimeter or 5 millimeter square ruled sheets of paper, either in the form of paper or in the form of a book, a pen or a pencil, along with a pencil sharpener, a geometry box or mathematical instruments box containing at least a compass, a scale, a protractor, and a pair of set squares while studying to work out worked examples as well as solving graded exercises during the study time. An eraser is not at all required if the students or learners are perfect in their work. Otherwise, it is necessary to have an eraser. A scientific calculator is necessary to solve problems in science and engineering subjects. Those who are good at mental arithmetic can avoid the use of calculator to the extent possible. Is it necessary for students belonging to economically weaker sections of society to buy a smartphone to study the subjects of their interest via free offline educational system? The government and non-governmental organizations can come forward to arrange to donate to all economically weaker sections of society students with either a new smartphone without a SIM card or a television set with an USB input port or refurbished old mobile phones containing preloaded prescribed lessons so that the students can concentrate only in their study without additional distractions or disturbances. Is there any specific dress code prescribed for the students or learners to learn the subjects using the free offline educational system? Absolutely no specially designed dress or uniform is necessary for the students to learn via free offline educational system, which is itself another added big saving for the students or learners or their parents or guardians. Is it possible for students or learners to learn subjects using free offline educational system in the comfort of their own house or place wherever they are living? Everybody can learn easily, learn the subjects through the specially designed educational training and assessment video lessons, as well as free books at any time, at any place, and at any pace. What is actually required is just the burning desire to learn the subjects to become experts in the subject of their own interest and choice. As are there any restrictions for parents or guardians or friends to learn together via free offline educational system? All are welcome to come and learn together any or all subjects through free offline educational system, as well as share the knowledge, experience, and the skills gained with the others in the society to make this world a better place for living. Whether the students or learners are permitted to take short, medium, or long breaks while learning lessons via free offline educational system. The students or learners are free to take short, medium, or long breaks while studying via free offline educational system. However, it is always a good idea to sit at one place comfortably and learn the lessons at least for 3 hours at a time, because of the simple reason that almost all qualifying examinations are generally 3 hours long in duration. Whether the students or learners are permitted to eat snacks and drink coffee or tea or water or go to washroom while learning via free offline educational system. The students and learners are welcome to eat snacks, drink coffee or tea or water, or go to washroom while learning via free offline educational system, particularly when viewing recorded video lessons using pause button and the press continue button when resuming the video lessons. However, it is a good idea to avoid the same, and it is always advisable to sit comfortably at one place and study the lessons at least for 3 hours at a time, as the students or learners have to sit in the qualifying examination hall generally for 3 hours duration. Is it possible to learn lessons via free offline educational system without the physical presence of a teacher? The students and learners, while learning lessons via free offline educational system, will be able to learn the lessons without the physical presence of a teacher. Remember the fact that Ekalavya in Mahabharata did this long ago, while Michael Faraday did it when he could not continue his education beyond primary school in his own village. Are there any examples in the modern world where students studied without physical presence of a teacher and achieved excellence in their subject of study? An important example is the attempt made by Michael Faraday, the Nobel Prize winner. Plenty of such examples are found in the history of mankind when searched with interest via internet. How was the primary education undergone by Michael Faraday? Michael Faraday, the village schoolboy and son of a blacksmith, took advantage of the opportunity to read and learn from the books received from clients for bookbinding while working as an apprentice in a bookbinding shop. His learning efforts later made him a Nobel Prize winner. Whether the free offline education system helps students or learners to become eminent scientists, professors, engineers, innovators in the shortest possible time and in the simplest possible way. Actually, there are two methods available for this purpose. Method one is learn something from those who know, watch those who are doing something and then do something using basic concepts of do-it-yourself technology. That is, ಕೆಲವಂ ಬಲ್ಲವರಿಂದ ಕಲ್ತೋ ಕೆಲವಂ ಮಾಡ್ಪವರಿಂದ ಕಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವಂ ತಾನೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಳಿ ಎಂದ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. This is from ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ ವಚನಗಳು. Method 2 is learn something from those who know. Learn something by listening to science lectures. Learn something by watching what others are doing. Do something by using the method of do-it-yourself technology, and learn something from the association with learned scholars, thinkers, and writers. ಕೆಲವಂ ಬಲ್ಲವರಿಂದ ಕಲ್ತೋ ಕೆಲವಂ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಂಗಳಂ ಕೇಳ್ತಂ ಕೆಲವಂ ಮಾಡ್ಪವರಿಂದ ಕಂಡು ಕೆಲವಂ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾಂ ಕೆಲವಂ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಂಘದಿಂದಲರಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞನ ಅಪ್ಪಂ ನರಂ ಬಲವಂ ಪಳ್ಳ ಸಮುದ್ರವೈ ಹರ ಹರ ಶ್ರೀ ಚೆನ್ನ ಸಾಮೇಶ್ವರ. This is from Someshwara Sataka. Whether the students or learners are permitted to listen to some background music while using free offline educational system. Some students or learners like to listen to some inspirational or motivational background music while studying, and others need a calm atmosphere without external sound or noise of any kind to concentrate on studies. Students and learners are therefore welcome to follow whichever practice they feel convenient and comfortable for study. How much time is actually needed to make a changeover from the current educational system to the free offline educational system, so that everybody can learn the subject of their own choice without the need for constant internet connectivity, or without the need for a SIM card, or without the physical presence of a teacher? The answer is yes. It takes just about 24 hours or one single day. This is because of the simple reason that where there is a strong will, there are several million ways to do so. As there are plenty of teachers in the world, if every individual just makes one single educational video and or one ebook in the subject or topic in which they are experts, then within 24 hours, there will be plenty of free offline educational videos and free ebooks available for the students or learners through free offline educational system of learning, which can be accessed from any place at any time in the world. Anything that has a beginning will have an end, but the end is not an end in itself, but it is always a new beginning. The viewers, participants are required to go through the video recording several times without skipping a single character, a single word, a single sentence, or a single paragraph. Read the text information presented while listening to the audio. Then please send your honest opinions, meaningful suggestions, and constructive criticisms, if any, to improve the quality and clarity of presentation of information in all our future attempts to produce free offline educational videos and ebooks for the benefit of younger generation. So this series of lectures will be available for online meeting through Zoom on all Saturdays. The timing is rigidly fixed. It is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. through Zoom. All are welcome, irrespective of the geographical location. Thanks to Corona for having made this possible. So let us stop for today and we'll come back the next Saturday at 6 o'clock for listening on some topic. Whatever the difficulties are experienced while presenting the information on today, if there is any drawback, all will be corrected and a revised lesson or discussion or presentation will be made in the coming days. So thank you, participants. If you have any questions or if you want to give a talk on any topic of your own interest in which you are an expert, you are welcome to contact x9t9@yahoo.com so that there will be a slot will be given for you so that you can improve your knowledge, experience, and skill in presenting the information to others in which you are an expert, and you can present the material to the benefit of others in the simplest possible way and in the shortest possible time. So thank you, viewers, for your presence. Let us meet next week, next Saturday at 6 o'clock in the evening for the next session on topic of some interest. Thank you and goodbye.